September 13th, 1848. It started as a perfect sunny day in Vermont. Meet Phineas Gage, 25 years old, handsome, and the most capable foreman on the railroad. He was a man of steel nerves and sharp focus. His job was dangerous but simple: clear the rocks using blasting powder. His tool? A custom-made tamping iron, over 3 feet long, weighing 13 pounds. It looked innocent enough, leaning against the rocks. But this piece of iron was about to make history. It happened in a split second. Phineas was distracted. He turned his head to speak to his men. The iron rod was still in the hole. A spark struck the rock. An explosion ripped through the air. But this wasn't just dust and debris. The massive iron rod was launched like a rocket. It didn't just fly, it went straight through Phineas's head. It landed 80 feet away, smeared with blood and brain matter. Silence fell over the construction site. The workers were frozen in horror. They expected to see a dead body, but then the impossible happened. Through the smoke, a silhouette sat up. Phineas Gage was alive. He was conscious. He stood up, clutching his bleeding head, and walked to the ox cart. When he arrived at the hotel in town, he sat on the porch and waited for the doctor. When Dr. Harlow arrived, Phineas looked at him calmly and said, "Doctor, here is business enough for you." Dr. Harlow couldn't believe his eyes. The iron rod had entered below Phineas's left cheekbone and exited through the top of his skull. It had destroyed a significant part of his frontal lobe. Yet Phineas was talking. He was asking about his work. He was fully awake while the doctor cleaned the wound. In 1848, a wound like this meant certain death. But Phineas, he was healing. Physically, Phineas recovered. But the man who woke up was not Phineas. The frontal lobe controls personality, impulse, and social behavior, and Phineas had lost it. His friends said, Gage was no longer Gage. The polite, hard-working foreman was gone. He became angry, profane, and unreliable. He couldn't keep his job. The railroad let him go. The hero had become an outcast. For the next 12 years, Phineas wandered the world. He became a living exhibit in P.T. Barnum's museum in New York. He posed with the very iron rod that destroyed his life, a man and his metal monster. He even worked as a stagecoach driver in Chile, but the damage to his brain was a ticking time bomb. In 1860, the seizures started. Phineas Gage died in San Francisco at the age of 36, a tragic end to a miraculous life. Today, Phineas's skull and that iron rod are still on display at Harvard University. His tragedy taught us everything we know about how the brain works. He proved that you can survive a broken brain, but you might lose your soul in the process. This was the strange, sad story of the man who cheated death.